The San Francisco 49ers hold the fort down at home and win big, 38-13 against the Chicago Bears, improving to 6-7. We're going to talk about it right here on the WayneBreezie Show, so stick around, baby. What's going on, 49er faithful? Make some noise. We touching down right here after a victory. Today is Victory Monday. Let's go. Let's celebrate. Haven't had one of these in 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since the 49ers had a Victory Monday. Let me just be the first to say, I don't care if they was a crappy team or a good team. The San Francisco 49ers got the dub, and they did it by just looking really good. I think, sometimes you got to play one of those teams where you could just get right, get things in sync, get in the rhythm, get the motion flowing, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they did it. They did it very well against the Chicago Bears. And we're going to talk about the offense, the defense, special teams. We talked a little bit about it last night on Nitty Gritty Niners Talk Overreaction Show. But, today, we had a little time to kind of like simmer, saute. I saw a lot of good stuff out there. Haven't watched the film yet, but I saw a lot of good stuff out there from the San Francisco 49ers. And I just wanted to commend the team just playing well, head coaching down, team executing, energy looking good. My energy's on a high level coming off of a fast. I'm fasting. I got 17 minutes before I can eat. And here's the crazy thing. I can't eat because I'm live, so I can't eat till after the show. But shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Ringing the bell for everybody out there. I see my man Matthew. Matthew's in the building. Says, what's up, faithful? Good win yesterday against a crappy team. We needed the morale boost for sure. Working today, so I'll be missing the show, but hope everyone has a beautiful, blessed day. Thanks for being first to touch down here on the WayneBreezie Show, Matthew. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. 49ers _ says, happy Victory Monday, faithful. Let's make sure, smash that like button. Hit it right now. Hit that like button, all right? Make sure you do that. Peachy in the building. Good morning, Breezy in the chat. Have a wonderful Victory Monday. Speaking of Victory Monday, right? Since Peachy brought up the Victory Monday again, did you guys get a chance to hear the victory speech? It was 7 to 8 seconds long. It was edited. I want to know what was edited. Shout out to Diameter Lenore. He gave the victory speech and I liked at least the closing of the speech. I thought it was comical because it was just like you heard the hyena noise in the background. 1, 2, 3, team on me, or whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope. And it was it. It was nothing else. I was just like, okay, all right, keep it short. Short and sweet, to the point. That's what we need. Bolts in the building with the hashtag BB. Playoff hopes are still on life support. Beep 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 beep. But we aren't in the cemetery yet. We're going to talk about the playoff hopes for the San Francisco 49ers as well. Jax Knox is in the building. Hey, Wayne and faithful. This is a victorious Monday. Let's go. I can't say that right now. I'm 3 minutes and 34 seconds into the show, but let me get 12 minutes into the show. I'll come back to this comment for sure. All right, David R., another Breezy Bunch member. Good morning, faithful. Let's go. One game at a time. Colin all the way from across seas in the building. Stephanie's in the building. Good morning, faithful. It's a beautiful sunny day out here. And does SW mean Southwest? This can't be a state, right? Southwest, it's Victory Monday. It's the only thing that matters. Faizel's in the building. Nigel, what's good, man? Look, it's always a good day when we win. You know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Niners, what's going on? Big Daddy Niners, I'm going to do my best to go to the post office as soon as I finish this show. That's what I'm going to try to do. Tanisha, what's going on, sis? Good morning, Breezy and the Breezy Bunch. Finally, a happy Victory Monday. Our boys showed up and showed out. And listen, man, y'all keep tuning in, man. More Breezy Bunch. Join the Breezy Bunch, man. It's right there. Hit that like button. All right. That's number one. If you're just jumping in here, hit the like button for sure. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's your first time watching. If this just came across your feed, you're like, who the hell is this? It's your boy WayneBreezie. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm one of the, best 49er people in the world that you're going to want to get to know. And that's the one thing about me. You can get to know me. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Also, you can become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. Take advantage of all the cool perks that's going on for those members out there. And one of those is getting the early morning, early show shout out. So if you Breezy Bunch crew, you get your comment put up here, man. But man, look, I'm Felicia. What's going on? Hey, Felicia. See, I didn't say bye. Hey, Felicia. Tried to change it up a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm just super excited, right? Not just because the 49ers got to win. I think I'm more excited about how well they looked. I think what really stood out to me, some people will say play calling was better. Touche. Could say that. That gets the bell. Some people will say that the players' energy was on another level. That gets a bell too. But I saw execution like I've never seen it before. I saw execution like I've never seen it before, And I mean, look, I was going through the plays and I was like, dang, man, why the Niners, they always, kind of get like, stopped up. All right, let's just do a quick, recap of the play on that first drive. They scored on that first drive, but let's just do a quick recap because I thought this was kind of dope, right? First play of the game, pass Juwan Jennings, 7 yards. Second play, it was a rush for 0 yards. Isaac Guerrero got stuffed, which left it to be a 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3 is what you want, or I want, the San Francisco 49ers. Those are the situations I want the Niners to be. I don't want it to be 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, or 3rd and 5 and longer. I don't like them. 3rd and 5 and shorter, or 3rd and 4 and shorter, love it, right? Because it gives the illusion of the defense doesn't know if you're going to run it or throw it. They don't know. They don't know if you're going to run it or throw it. And so you get to the 3rd and 3. These are manageable situations because let's just say you get 2 yards. Just say you run it, you get 2 yards. Now it's a 4th and 1, and Kyle was very aggressive, very aggressive. You could tell he was going to go for it probably on every 4th down. But let's say they threw it on and it made it 4th and 3, and there's another potential they can go for it on 4th down. But I really like the 3rd and 3 situation because on that play call, they had Isaac Guerrero got the big catch, which was the first explosive play of the game for 23 yards. And next thing you know, he's out running. Check down throw, nice little check, block, get out, I'm open. He was looking for Kittle. Kittle wasn't the guy. And he hit it Guerrero. Guerrero had his guy beat, and then boom, turned it up the field for 23 yards. And I think what was really dope about that play was the simple fact that the Niners came back on the very next play. And so I'm going to pass it again. Now, I don't know about you, but I be wanting the Niners to run it. And there's reasons why they don't run the football. Brock checked out. You heard him can plays. Brock checked out of some runs because you key counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He knew the Bears were coming to stop the run. I think that's what was super interesting. And we've seen teams do this before, but Brock and that offense, they trumped what the Bears were doing, right? They trumped it. And then on that very next play, 33 pass, screen pass to George Kittle. And it looked like they were blitzing. And so as they were blitzing, you could tell that the 2 defenders on the outside were stunting. So the X was there. And when they were stunting, Brock slipped that ball right to George Kittle. And because those guys were off back, man, Kittle took off and was ghost. Audi 5000. Execution to the T. Execution to the T. It's 1st and 7 at the goal. Next thing you know, they was about to be a delay again. They call a timeout. And they run the same exact play after the timeout. How do I know? Because Debo did the same exact motions. He just didn't have enough time to go back in motion to trick the defense. But when he did it after the timeout, they got the touchdown throw to Juwan Jennings. So I just from the game, from the script of the game, you could tell that the first scripted plays from Kyle Shanahan were dialed in. I'm sure he wanted to get more yards on the ground with Isaac Guerrero on the first carry, but he realized that, listen, they come in to stop the run. So we're going to have to kind of like negate what they're doing with their run defense and take advantage of their pass defense. And their pass defense is their strength. That was the crazy part. Their pass defense has been the strength of the Chicago Bears all season, because when you talk about the Chicago Bears defense, you only mention guys in their secondary. Jalen Johnson, maybe Byard, a couple of guys in their secondary. They got a good nickelback out there as well. So you don't really talk about the guy, and then you talk about the guys up front, right? But that second tier, they don't really get talked about. Their linebackers don't get talked about. One linebacker they had was all over the football field. I'm like, oh, he having a Dre Greenlaw type of day today. So the Niners came out. with the game plan, which they do every single week, but it just seemed like the players were like more like inept to like coming together and saying, listen, we're just going to come out here and execute the goddamn game plan. Like, stop, like, put who's good, who's not. None of that matters. How about we just execute what our coach is calling and do a better job? And that's what I got just overall from the whole game. Niners were in control the whole game. I didn't really think that the Bears actually had a chance, even when they kind of went on that second half, first drive, tear, and then they got the ball back and it looked like they did it again, right? And then they fumbled on that third time. But hey, how to each their own. I thought the 49ers came out and played very damn well. Now, we'll recap the game a little bit more, but let's talk about the injuries, because I think this is what's going to hinder the 49ers just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. 49ers injury report. Ben Bartch left the game with an ankle. Now, the bad news is he's injured. We don't know the severity of the injury. We were waiting on the MRI reports. Those will probably come out today when Kyle speaks, and we'll find out if he's going to be out. What's the injury? Is it a high ankle sprain? Is it a low ankle sprain? Or is it something other than an ankle? We'll find all that stuff out today. But the good news is you're going to get guys back, right? Aaron Banks should be back. I just wanted to say that I thought Spencer Burford came in and did the damn thing. I thought Spencer Burford came in and said, you know what? You need me here on the left side? I got you, fam. And this is what I'm talking about. Players stepping up, players filling in these gaps, players taking on these assignments, and the moment not being too big for the player. And we watched Ben Bartch do it when Aaron Banks went down. Now you watch Spencer Burford do it when Ben Bartch goes down. I just wanted to commend the San Francisco 49ers offensive line, because when we get to the grading, most of them are in the top 5 grades. And I said most of them. And I meant most of them. So shout out to, the offensive line just doing their thing. Shout out to Spencer Burford for sure. Isaac Guerrero did end up leaving the game a little bit later. You saw him walking on the sideline. He went into the blue tent. He was trying to get right. But apparently there may be some type of a foot injury going on with Isaac Guerrero. Isaac Guerrero in his first NFL start was, to me, grade A. Did everything they asked him to do. If I had to give him any negative grades for Isaac Guerrero, couple of things for Isaac Guerrero for me, right? Couple of things. One, gotta let certain things develop. You could tell he's trying to run with a full set of steam, get to the hole, hit the hole hard, right? Football, the timing is off. That's all I'm saying. His timing slightly off, but that'll get better. The more reps he sees, the better he'll get at that. The second thing, pass pro. Now, it's going to take a second. He's got to get better in pass protection, and he will. He didn't give up any pressures in this game, but he definitely got ran over a couple times. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they were full-blown running, linebacker, blitzing, straight at him, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, they come in full steam, and he's trying to set there. So I'm not giving him a pass on it. He's got to be better at it. Give Brock Purdy, make him feel a little bit more safer in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? But he will. I got to give him reps. The only thing is, he plays a game. He finishes the game with 78 yards on the ground off of 15 carries. He finishes the game with 50 receiving yards off of 2 receptions. He was targeted twice, caught both of them, right? And he finished the game with 2 touchdowns. And he potentially would have had a third and probably finished the game with, I would say, 90-something yards. I don't know if he would have got the 100, but he definitely would have finished the game in the 90s had he been able to complete this game. And now he's dealing with the foot injury. So we don't know how severe that foot injury is going to be yet, Faithful. But I could tell you what, if he's going to be good to go, that's going to be great for the 49ers. Loved what I saw from Patrick Taylor Jr. He came in, did exactly what they needed to do. The difference between Taylor Jr. and Isaac Guerrero is going to be the speed. So listen, it's going to be, if Guerrero can't go, I would think that Israel Abanaconda would be a guy that's going to get some reps so that you can continue to have that speed element at the running back position. You might not get the same pass catching element from Isaac Guerrero, but at least you'll get the speed element to get to the outside runs, and then you could just kind of like lean on Patrick Taylor Jr. to be the bell cow in this game. Keyshawn Vaughn also had a carry in this game as well, so he'll probably be upgraded to running back too if Guerrero can't go. So we'll see what happens, but I thought the 49ers, Isaac Guerrero did a damn good job out there for the San Francisco 49ers in his first start. And as we recap the game, right, just overall, let me just ask you, if you could only pick one, offense, defense, special teams, which stood out the most? Was it the offense putting up 38 points, or was it the defense finally holding the team to under 15 points, under 17 points, right? 13 points, and that's where I thought this defense would have been all season, 13 points or less. Or was it special teams for just not turning the damn ball over? Field position was a little weird, but other than that, special teams did a damn good job as far as coverage, as far as getting down there, gunning. Let me know what you guys think in the section. You can only pick one, so don't say both. You can only pick one. I'm going to touch on all of them, okay? I'm going to touch on them. But you can only pick one. Corey, what's going on, man? Good to see you, baby. Felicia says the offense. Start with the offense. I thought the offense played, together. They looked like a unit. It wasn't necessarily just the energy from them, but you can tell that Brock Purdy was dialed in, and Brock Purdy said, listen, if you're open, I'm getting you the ball. So be ready to catch it and be ready to run. Today, it felt good watching the 49ers play yak football. Now, for those that are new to the San Francisco 49ers, yak yards after the catch is when they catch one of those short area type passes and they take it up and they get like explosive extra yards, right? So yak. And it was really good to see that. A lot of defenses have been taking that away, and I've been trying to explain that all season long, that these defenses are playing us differently. Even some of the players said, yeah, they're giving us these different looks. Wide receivers mainly, they're giving us these different looks out there on defense. They're taking away the yak. Well, the Bears made a big mistake, and they were giving up the yak. So I definitely like what I saw from the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that the offense was just in sync. You had the play calls come down. You had a zone read play, which scored a touchdown. Unfortunately, it got negated by the holding call. You had the tight end screen specifically. We've been doing wide receiver screens. We've been doing running back. We don't really see too many running back screens because Christian McCaffrey's not here. But the tight end screens was kind of dope. You also saw misdirection runs. Misdirectional runs were back in fold, and I really like what I saw that. I know I understand Debo is not the same Debo. Everybody feels like he's different. I get it, no doubt. I just feel like when defenses prepare, they're prepared for Debo to get the ball out of the backfield, and they want to immediately make sure that they take him out. Why? Because he sets up an explosive play after every time he touches the ball. That's Debo. Debo finished with 2 receptions off of 3 targets, 22 yards. He also ran the ball for a couple. He had a couple of runs in this game too, right? He had 5 runs for 13 yards. He averaged 2.6 yards. So no, Debo's not that same explosiveness guy because I just think the teams are in on him. If you go back and watch any of those plays, as soon as he got the ball, they were there. I couldn't figure it out. Even on the screen that they gave the Debo, it was kind of like it was a wide receiver screen. As soon as he caught the ball, like the defenses weren't faked out by the screen is what I'm trying to say. They were faked out by the screen when George Kittle caught it and he takes it for 33 yards. As soon as Debo caught it, he couldn't maneuver and get anywhere. He tried to cut it inside, but the guys were right there on the inside. So things like, I just feel like the way that the 49ers offense is set up is not set up for every piece to explode. It's set up for certain pieces to explode to take advantage of the mismatches that the defenses are presenting them week in and week out. And I think with Debo, I know where a lot of people are frustrated with him is just he catches the pass and it sets up somebody else to explode later on down in the game. And I think that's what Debo is. He's more like that setup pitcher for the closer to come in and do their job. So I love what I saw from the offense for sure. They put up 38 points. Ronnie says the defense. I'm curious to know more about why you picked the defense, but let's just talk about how great the defense had or was in the first half. And then they didn't adjust quick enough for, I think, our liking in that on that first drive or the first two drives of the second half. They struggled with being on the field and not probably being able to sub guys out or things like that. And so you saw the Bears kind of quick hurry up offense. You saw that, right? You saw the Bears run that quick hurry up offense, and then it kind of like made the 49ers defense a little stagnant, and then they ended up giving up a couple of touchdowns in the red zone. They gave up a couple of touchdowns in the red zone. So it is what it is. But overall, the defense I thought played very well. Ooh, the tackling. Ooh, I almost forgot about tackles. In this game, you would never believe how many missed tackles the 49ers had. And I can tell you right now, all the missed tackles came on one single play. And it was a play run by Caleb Williams, their quarterback, and he just made everybody miss. 4 missed tackles in this game from the San Francisco 49ers. Only 4. That's a step up, man. It was 6 last week. It's 4 this week. No weather. No bad weather to make them play gingerly, and they only have 4 missed tackles. And I really think it came off of all of those, that one quarterback run. Caleb just made everybody miss. You know what I'm saying? He made everybody miss. We'll talk about who I thought was the game changer on this defense. But, you know, when you look at the defense, they had a total of 11 pressures in this game, a total of 6 sacks in this game. Not one sack was a half a sack. My man, Yetur Gross-Matos finished the game with 3 sacks in this game. 3 sacks for Yetur Gross-Matos. Way to step up, filling that plug. Leonard Floyd with 2 sacks. I think he's the sack leader. He leads the team in sacks with 8.5 sacks on the season. And expect Nick Bosa to play this Thursday too, by the way. But these are all, you know what Jack says, we are trending in the right direction. Tackle and penalties. Overall, the team had 5 penalties in this game. The defense had 0. Come on, clap it up. So all the penalties came on the offensive side, unfortunately. Well, sorry, 3 of them came on the offensive side. 2 of them, oh no, we had 7 penalties. My apologies. Had 7 penalties. So 5 offensively, 2 special teams. Those Jake Moody kicks were penalties as well. So look, the Niners are definitely trending into the right direction. My man said that they were playing vanilla defense. No, they weren't playing vanilla defense. Check this out. This is what they were playing. They were playing more kind of like the soft zone, sort of kind of like how the 49ers play. They were playing a lot of soft zone, and they were stunning a lot. And so that's what set up the screens. You know what I'm saying? That's what set up the screens. You know what I mean? So, like, the screens were open. So I didn't think that they were playing a vanilla defense because you saw them make adjustments. Adjustment number 1, Jauan Jennings offensively was about to have a lifetime achievement game where he was about to go ape stuff, right? And then they quickly said, wherever Jauan Jennings go, Jalen Johnson, you follow him. They put their best man on our best man. And I like that. And then the moment they slipped up on that, my guy, the moment they slipped up on that, Jauan Jennings continued to feast. So adjustments were made from their defense. Adjustments were made for our defense. But I thought our offense took advantage of what the defense was doing, which a lot of teams have been doing against the 49ers this year. It's so crazy, right? But defensively, Talanoa Hufanga was just like a breath of fresh air. He played 39 snaps in this game. Played 39 snaps in this game, right? He had to sit out some snaps. 39 snaps in this game. He was one of the top 5 graded defensive players, all right? But it's just his presence, his physicality, his cerebral, like everything you wanted from a safety position was in Talanoa Hufanga, who was playing with the club on his hand. If you get this type of energy surge from getting a player back, and I remember when Hufanga came back, a lot of people was like, oh, he's not the same. He's not this. He's not that or whatever. And you may have been right. He was just coming off of the ACL injury, and, you know, he came in and he ended up getting injured again. But, you know, it looked like he to me, in my eyes, Talanoa Hufanga put on those pads and said, I'm leaving it all out on the football field today. And you got it. You got what you needed from Talanoa Hufanga, in my opinion, in this game. He had a couple of big hits. He finished the game with 3 tackles. Like, he was all over the field, which is what you need. We played a lot of cover one. Can't wait to watch the film. Cover one is when we play with one safety, single high safety. And Talanoa Hufanga did that. They would rotate him and Malik Mustafa. And when you do that, you do better against the run. I don't know how else to say it, but you got an extra safety down in the box, kind of playing closer to the line of scrimmage. So, you're there to help take away the run. When you're playing cover 2 and you put 2 safeties back, that's one less guy down there to help play around that line of scrimmage, and you get a lot of rushing yards. The 49ers gave up 68 rushing yards. 68. So for those that chose defense, you onto something. For those that chose the offense, you're onto something. I know nobody took special teams, and I understand, but I like what Jack said. You went down on the missed tackles. The penalties lessened overall as a team, right? And the pressure, the sacks went up. Those are all trending things to help your team trend upwards. And the best thing about the San Francisco 49ers, they're going to get some players back. They're going to get some players back. My man Nigel has a dope comment. He says, I like that Evan Anderson. Let's talk about my man Evan Anderson. Let's just talk about Evan Anderson. He says, I like that he didn't give up on that Williams fumble. All right. So let's talk about the Caleb Williams fumble, because the pass, his arm, it was going backwards, right? So the pass was backwards, even though, they called it incomplete pass. Kyle Shanahan threw the challenge flag, but then he got some assistance from the instant replay game, and they were like, nope, Kyle is right. He doesn't need to waste the challenge here. This is a fumble. I love this play because when he saw the ball on the ground, I was so happy that he ran toward the ball. It would have been even better. I'm nitpicking if he just picked the ball up and ran it in for a touchdown. But for him to have the heads up, man, shout out to this undrafted kid. And I don't I feel like saying when kids go undrafted, I feel like that's derogatory, right? But it's just what it is. Some guys don't get drafted, but that doesn't mean that they're not great. That doesn't mean that they can't have an opportunity to be great. And what I like from Evan Anderson is he's taking advantage of every single opportunity he's getting out there. He only played 14 snaps in this game. 14 snaps. That's it. It's not a lot of opportunities. But him jumping on that and getting that fumble recovery was huge, Nigel. And it's only going to make him trend upwards and get more and more snaps. You get what I'm saying? More and more snaps. So I love it. I love it a lot. I definitely do. My man Filthy Casual, another member, says, heard a rumor Staley was calling the defense. Saw some exotic blitzes on third down. I saw some linebacking blitzing on third down. I saw some Fred Warner blitzing for sure. Could be. I don't know. I don't know if that's the truth. If it is, whatever it is, the Niners defense was light years the best we've probably seen all season. The best we've seen all season. And you're playing with an injured Fred Warner. You didn't have Nick Bosa out there. Dre Greenlaw wasn't out there. You got a lot of young kids in the secondary. And Charvarius Ward is probably just having probably one of the worst seasons of his career. He's just not having a good season football, esque. And if somehow he can find a way to just, get back into some form. I really think when it comes to Charvarius Ward, you could tell he's struggling, not being there. He's struggling in the man and the zone concepts. I feel like that's what I'm getting from Ward, because he's not getting burnt on the play. He's just getting beat on the play. It's a big difference getting beat and getting burnt, right? And so we've seen him get burnt before. We've seen cornerbacks get burnt. That's not what it is. You could tell on the touchdown that he gave up to Roman Dunze, the rookie from the Bears, you can tell whoever he thought was supposed to do the thing, it was a miscommunication. It was a miscommunication. And then on the other one, looked like they were playing quarters defense. And so he was playing his area and had had he cut closer, and then we talk about another Rome Odunze catch, I think, on the sideline, Winston was wide open down the field. So I don't know. I just think it's concepts that guys are struggling against. And so far, Mooney Ward, he's struggling this season. But, again, prayers go out to the brother, man, because if you can continue to play a sport and show up to work and be there, and be accountable after the tragic situation that he went through, I just commend him. I commend him. Is he hurting the team? Not in my opinion. Going to give up 13 points. So can he be better? For sure. And I think he knows that. But at the end of the day, I can't wait to see what happens, with his situation in next year. And I'm hoping the Niners continue to find a way to bring him back. I like Mooney Ward. You know what I mean? And we all seen him play all pro football. He's not playing all pro football because he's losing his skill. He's playing all pro football because he just hasn't been consistently out there on the football field. And we know what consistency means. We know that guys need to be out there. When those guys are out there, those guys are practicing, those guys just play a little bit better. There's a little bit more cohesiveness. And so that's my deal with Mooney Ward. He gave up that first touchdown. And then Jair Brown, again, concepts, right? Second year, different coordinator, different assignment, different role from Jair Brown. You could tell he's just struggling trying to grasp whatever he's being asked to grasp. That's kind of what I'm getting from it. He's not bad. A few missed tackles on the season, big ones, gave up explosive plays. But whatever the role he's asked to do is just not clicking. And so you got to give him time to develop. Players need time to develop. And I think with the San Francisco 49ers, we're trying to win a Super Bowl. We're not trying to develop players, but you're going to have to develop players because injuries happen, players get put in, things happen. So, Jair Brown came in, he played some snaps in this game. A couple of them weren't good. He played 15 snaps in this game. And like I said, a couple of them, they weren't good. He was one of the lowest ranked defenders in the game. He's actually ranked 20 out of 22. So that's not really good. But before we keep going, man, shout out to those that are giving gifts, man. It's the season. 'Tis the season of giving gifts. And I definitely thank Nigel, who just gifted 5 memberships. Nigel, you get the DJ air horn for that, man. I appreciate you. For those that become members, man, let me know if you're a new member to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. And then Jax also gifted 2 memberships. So shout out to Jax Knox as well for the gifts, man. Thank y'all so much for the gifts and giving. I appreciate you. Become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew, man. I promise you, it's definitely an awesome way of just showing your love and your support right here on the channel. Please do so. So, overall, if I had to rate the game, man, I think the Niners, a lot of people feel like we didn't beat anybody. And I get it. It was the Bears. But a lot of people didn't feel like we were even going to beat the Bears. So you can't say, oh, I don't know if we're going to beat the Bears. And then when we beat the brakes off the Bears, you say, well, we didn't beat anybody. It's the same Bears team that was in the playoff hunt, that was trying to win games, that had lost their last 5 games by 3 points or less. They were competing in every game. We didn't get a competitive Bears team, or the Niners were just a goddamn juggernaut. At the end of the day, San Francisco 49ers handled their game plan, they executed their game plan, and they whipped ass. It doesn't matter who they playing. The fact is that they came together, found a way to win, and they whipped ass. That's the only thing that mattered. And they got to win. I think that's the most important thing, is that they got to win. It wouldn't have mattered if they won by 1 or 21, and they ended up winning by 25. Great game for the 49ers. You talked about them boosting their morale. This is more than that. This is getting them just being back. You saw Nick Bosa on the sideline cheering on Leonard Floyd when he was getting sacks. This is the stuff I'm talking about. This team doesn't have locker room issues. This team just couldn't figure out how to win a game together. They couldn't figure it out. Everybody was overcompensating. Everybody was doing this. Everybody was trying too hard. Instead of just, I'm going to do my role, you do your role. And if everybody does their role, 9 times out of 10, they'll find a way to win some games. Well, The Niners are in this stance, and we said that the playoff hope for the San Francisco 49ers is slim to none. Here are the playoff chances per Pro Football Network for the Niners to actually make the playoffs. And I get it. It's less than 20%. It's tight. We got zero help. And that, to me, my only gripe with this team, and I'm hoping moving forward that they learn from this. Now, the Niners can't control injuries and things like that. They can't. You can't control injuries. You know what I'm saying? But the Niners definitely needed to have found ways to win some games. And because they couldn't, and because they didn't, they're sitting in a situation where the fate of their playoffs lie on the other teams. And I hate that for a team that we know is good. You know, have we played good? Nah. Have we played poorly? For, I would say, 7 times, 7 losses, right? Couldn't figure out ways to win. And even in those games, a lot of them were close. You know, we only got blown out, 2 or 3 times, maybe this season. Can't remember the Kansas City score, but that would probably be the first kind of like double-digit loss. And then we got blown out. Like, the worst game to me this season was Green Bay Packers game. I did not expect the Niners to go in there and play that poorly. Injuries or not. That was the worst game I've ever seen under a Kyle Shanahan regime. Worst game. And then in the Buffalo game, they got the brakes beat off them too, but I didn't expect them to win that game. I expected them to compete, and I expected them to play better. And it's just like the moment Christian McCaffrey got hurt, the ghost of the whole 49ers left the building. It was like they couldn't overcome it. They were going to run the ball down their throats, and then they still could have probably ran the ball down their throats, but they turned the ball over 3 times. See what happens when you don't turn the ball over? You kind of have control of the game. Anytime the Niners get turnovers, they got to hope that the defense can come back out there and give them the ball back. Because if you lose the turnover battle, you lose the game. You lose the game. So the Niners played very well. We're talking about how well the offense looked, how well the defense looked, his coaching was. How about the Niners just didn't make mistakes? We didn't give them the ball. We did give them the ball one time. It was when Brandon Allen came into the game, and it was just whatever, you know. So that's what happened. But 16.7% chance for the Niners to make the playoffs. You guys think the Niners are going to make the playoffs? Like, and be honest. And if you say no, I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, it doesn't look good. The numbers don't look good. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't look good. But the Niners can still win out. And I think if they take it one game at a time, the Niners will continue to find ways to win. And I think winning is more important than anything at this moment. I think even winning the games are just more important than even making it to the playoffs. Because they have to learn how to win. And I feel like that's gotten lost over the season. With all the adversity that they've been dealing with, they just almost forgot why they were 49ers. That's why George Kittle stayed optimistic the whole season. He kept saying, yo, if we play right. And then they come out and play right, and you see what the San Francisco 49ers are without star players. You can't say that this team don't have – the Bears had a top 10 defense in the league, and the Niners took full advantage of it. Who cares if their offense is trash? Their defense still remains top 10 with a trash-ass offense. Make that make sense. And the Niners took advantage of it. I know people feel that this team was a nobody. I get it. We got to play one more team in the NFC North. And I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers beat the brakes off the Detroit Lions too. I just wouldn't be. Because we know when our team is good, they're great. We know that. We've been dealing with a bunch of injuries, been trying to figure out ways to win games. Coaching has been a little off. The execution has been way off. What if the team figured out how to execute now by beating the brakes off the Bears? Just what if? I'm just saying. Just what if? And if this team gets rolling and they can win on Thursday Night Football, because they got the Rams coming into town. And I don't know about you, but I'm not scared of the Rams. I will never in my life be scared of the Rams. Did the Rams beat the Niners this season? Yup. Sure did. By 3 points. But not scared of them. Oh, they didn't have Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua. That's okay. They can have them now. I'm not worried. I'm not worried if the Niners show up and play football. It's if they don't show up and play football that makes the game that much more unpleasing and unpleasant to watch. But I think the Niners are in scrap mode. Do you guys know what scrap mode means? Do y'all know what that means? That means they're gonna probably do whatever it takes. The Niners are finally experiencing grit. And they've been the most ungritty team or non-gritty team all season. And that, faithful, is why the San Francisco 49ers couldn't pull off some of those wins. And I'm talking about the games that were close, that the Niners were winning. They couldn't close them out. They couldn't do this. Grit. Grit, 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 grit. They've been lacking it. They haven't had it. Too many superstars. Not enough worker players. Good ones. And in this game, I didn't see Debo crying because he didn't get the ball. You're not seeing it. Whoever's got the hot hand, you rock with. You take advantage of the mismatches. That's game planning. That's football 101. Did Debo want more opportunities? For sure. And I'm only mentioning him because Jawan Jennings was able to go off. George Kittle was able to go off. There's no Christian McCaffrey. There's no Jordan Mason. Isaac Orendo had a decent game. In my opinion, he had a good game. But he's not considered a superstar on this team. Debo's the only one left. But he was out there. He was out there blocking. He was out there trying to make plays. He was out there. Non-complaining. Cheering his teammates on. Defensively, did the same thing. You saw guys on the sideline commending their comrades. I'm like, yes. Where has this been? Not yelling, not fighting. Just a few weeks ago, Debo was being trashed for asking Jake Moody to lock in. And Nick Bosa's helping celebrate. And we're not even talking about the fact that he's celebrating his man, Leonard Floyd, who is now the sack leader on this team. Man, negativity sells. I just can't be negative all the time. I just can't. But overall, the Niners did their damn thing. Congratulations to George Kittle. Accolades for George Kittle, man. He's continuing to just trend upwards. Whenever we talk about George Kittle, I know if you've been watching football for a long time, I know he's not considered one of the best tight ends of all time, right? But how is George Kittle not one of the best tight ends of all time? And I understand there's some guys where it's Gronk. Tony Gonzalez, probably number 2. But how does George Kittle not grace the conversation of a top 5 tight end of all time? And he's consistently and continuing to put up the numbers to prove it. I think, Gronk was one of the greatest blocking tight ends of all time. But he was also one of the greatest pass-catching tight ends of all time. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out, isn't that the same trajectory that George Kittle is in? He's a great blocker, great pass catcher, great yards after the catch. I just don't get it. I don't get why he gets overshadowed and overlooked a lot, in my opinion. But the game he had, 6 targets, 6 catches, 151 yards. How does that get overshadowed and overlooked in the NFL? And just overall, Travis Kelce's probably number 3 for sure. He's done it for consecutive amounts of time. And I'm not going to sit here and crap on Travis Kelce. I like Travis Kelce. He's that dude. But I just wanted to commend George Kittle on being the third tight end in NFL history. It's like, what question I'm asking you guys? Is George Kittle a Hall of Famer? That's a better question, right? Is George Kittle a Hall of Famer? And here comes some of the pushback or answers or questions and things like that. Mark says because he doesn't do it on a regular basis. That's cool. I got you. But let me just read this because can somebody tell me the other two? Please? Somebody tell me the other two. You ready? George Kittle on yesterday became the third tight end in NFL history with 500 receptions and 7,000 receiving yards. Third guy. Okay? So I want to know, where does he rank? Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? And who are the other two? It's got to be what, Gronk and maybe Kelce? Tony G? Is it Kelce and Gonzalez? So Kelce, Gonzalez, Gronk didn't even reach this achievement? My brother says, Wayne, I'm not sure what you mean. He's talked about as one. No, he's not. He's talked about being one of the best tight ends of all time because of us. Like, we talk about him. But a lot of people don't talk about Kittle as if he's a guy. And it's because what Mark said. Mark was spot on. He says because he doesn't do it on a consistent basis, he's not considered one of those main targets. The Niners got too many weapons. The Niners, you get what I'm saying? That's why. So I don't think he's talked about until he has a game, where he stands out amongst the rest of the tight ends. He's definitely got to be the number one tight end in NFL right now, even though Travis Kelce is still playing. And now you got this Brock Bowers kid out of Vegas that's look like he's going to be a tear, and it's crazy. But I'm just curious, will Kittle be a Hall of Famer? And where did that comment go? Somebody said on Facebook, Ricky Johnson. It's simple. No Super Bowl ring. We got to get him a ring. Got to get these guys a ring. Team needs a ring. We need a ring. I need a ring. I want a replica ring. If I could afford the real one, I'd get the real one. But we got to get a ring. We got to get a ring. And I think we'll get one. This season is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But if the Niners can win out, and hear me out, if they can win out, and they get a little help from somebody, you know what I mean? The Niners will find themselves in the playoffs, and you know what? If the defense gets right at the right time, you can't tell me this doesn't give you 2011 vibes from the New York Football Giants. You can't tell me that, because that's what we need. The defense forcing 3 and outs, giving the offense opportunities to go out there, get into a rhythm. Right? That's what we got against the Bears. The defense didn't get, and for those that chose the defense and said that the defense had the better game, they didn't give up a third down conversion for 30 minutes. God! 30 minutes! And I know they weren't on the field for 30 minutes, but that whole first half is what I'm talking about. So in the first half, they didn't give up one third down conversion. Not one. They forced punts after punts after punts. And the Niners had opportunities after opportunities after opportunities. And you just watch them just continue to get into a rhythm. The defense will always, to me, be the backbone. The Defense Niner Sickness Podcast, my Mary. What's good, man? He said, my married ring isn't enough. I need another ring. We need the Super Bowl ring. It's the only ring that matters, I think. Right? That was crazy. Now, Niner Faithful says, what was the first half stats? I don't have those right in front of me, but I believe the Niners defense only allowed 4 yards in the first half. 4 yards. That is ridiculous. The defense was cooking. Like, if you can smell, the defense was cooking. Like, real talk. So, second half, I would say the Bears made some adjustments, and Nick Sorsen had to kind of like reel it in. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. Yes, Jordan Mason has been placed on IR, which means he'll miss the next. This will be 1 week, so he has 3 more weeks on the IR. You know what I'm saying? 3 more weeks on the IR. I'm with Christy. Christy, listen. Could you know if I'm at that parade, I'm getting on the float. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting on the float. And it'd be well worth it because I ain't going all the way out to California just to celebrate. I don't drink beer, so I'm going to find a way on the float. I promise you I will be on that float. And I'll be in jail the next day. And hopefully y'all can help bail me out. You know what I'm saying? But the float is my goal. That's my goal. I got a couple of questions from Atomic. Says, is Trent coming back this year? Listen, Atomic, I appreciate you, man. Feel free to become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew as well. I hope you like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, he'll be back, man. I think Trent plays this week. That's a good question. I think Trent plays the way. Wait, which Trent we talking about? We talking about Trent Williams, right? He the only Trent that matter, right? Wait a minute. Is Trent Taylor still on this team? Feel like he's still on the practice squad. I don't think we ever cut him. Or did we cut him? I can't remember, but I know you talking about Trent Williams. Yeah, man, he'll be back, man. I think he plays this week. You know what I mean? I think he does. I think he plays this week for sure. This more adversity, more tragedy, but he's a tough man. He's a tough guy, tough mental. I think the only thing that's been keeping Trent out is the injuries. And he's had a couple of weeks to kind of like, get right. And on a Thursday night football game with the season on the line, I think he'll play. Now, if he doesn't, I'm confident that Jalen Moore will be fine. Now, they got a different defensive line up front. Like, let's talk about that defensive line up front. You know what I mean? They're a little different. They're young. And they're kind of ferocious. Like, you could tell that they got a bunch of motor guys. You know what that means? They got guys that just don't take plays off. Like Jared Verse and my man Braden Fisk in the interior, and they got some other players. I think Byron Young is there. Like they got some dudes. I ain't gonna stunt. They're young, but if you let them tee off, it's gonna be. I think this will be. And I thought last week, against the Bears, that it was going to be a test for the offensive line. And I think our offensive line passed the test with flying colors. The Bears had to try to dial up some type of blitzes. The Rams aren't going to blitz much. They got pass rushers from the interior to the exterior. They're just young, and the question is, their defense isn't great. You just watch the team put up 44, 42 points. Their defense not great. If you can hold them, and you play good defense against them and keep them from getting 40, you beat the Rams. Kyle knows the Rams better than anybody. Araceli is posted back for the Rams game. My guess is he's going to be back. Did you see him smile on the sideline? That smile said, enjoy the lead while you got it, my guy, because I'm coming back. And even Leonard Floyd said in his presser, he's like, listen, I'm trying to take advantage and get all the sacks I could get because I know what's supposed to come back. He gonna go on a tear. So, look, I saw fun. And I know players that are on the sideline, they were having fun. There was one player that didn't look good and looked like very upset. And I'll reveal that player in a second. Kylie, what's going on, bro? This is Will Greenlaw play on Thursday, man. It's the target date for him to be back. He's been practicing. So, Kylie, for everybody out there watching, Greenlaw has been practicing. He's been practicing. His window was open, and he's been practicing. And word on the streets is he's been having good practices. Okay? Let that sink in. He wasn't active. He was inactive in this game against the Bears. But I guarantee you, Dre Greenlaw will be out on that football field. I guarantee you Dre Greenlaw will be out on that football field. And if you thought Tyler Noah Hufanga brought the energy, which he did, he had a big smackdown on somebody. I was like, God, I heard that from outside around the corner through the gutters. Like, that was like, woof. I just can't wait. I just can't wait. And they said he looks good in practice. That's crazy. So just imagine an atomic. I don't know how to say your last name, but what you just wrote. Whew. NFC West divisional battle, Thursday night football, prime time. Whew. Can you imagine if that defense, Nick Sorensen will get an extension. If he gets this defense back, he'll get an extension. Eddie G and the B-Dogs, what's going on, baby? Good to see you, man. Happy Victory Monday to you. All right. I'm with you, 49er Jeff. We're going to beat the Lambs on Thursday. I'm telling you, it just seemed like it's written for the 49ers for things to be set up for the 49ers, right? It's just like the Niners have an off season. They look like they're in shambles. Kyle Shanahan rumors, he's going to be fired. It went from Kyle Shanahan to being fired to now possibly being traded to the Bears. On top of that, out of all the teams, Kyle addressed the rumors in the presser, said he's not going anywhere. Like, they're literally going to have to kick him out of here. Like, he loves it here in San Francisco. I mean, you got a coach saying he loves it here. Shouldn't we just let him love it here, or do we still want him going? I'm asking for the fire Kyle guys. Like, do you still want Kyle going? Because he just proved if his players could go out there and execute the game plan, they could win. They could win. So, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm with Tanisha, though. Got to match the physicality of the Rams. We will beat them. I say, yes, on matching the physicality. I'm with you on that one. But take advantage of their aggressiveness. You gotta hit them with a little finesse in this game. I want physicality there, but you gotta hit them. Gotta hit them. They're gonna be overly aggressive, Tanisha, in my opinion. And that's when they make mistakes. And you know the aggressiveness is going to come from who? Sean McVay. Why? Because he wants to sweep and beat Kyle Shanahan, so when they go to Cabo, they can talk about it. Hey, we swept that ass this year. Kyle's like, nah, son. Not on my block. Not on my block. So I'm excited, man. Like, I just feel like the Niners and the Rams, they're really in the same state. Rams they're 7-7, I believe. On the season, and they beat the 49ers. That's why the Niners got to win this game. I think the Niners, with their back against the wall, figure out a way to win. But you know what was good? It started with them just coming together, and finding a way to just look like a unit against the Chicago Bears. And whether the Bears were an inferior team, it didn't matter. Like, they just played all around. I think somebody mentioned the only mistakes they saw on special teams was Jake Moody's his kickoffs. Yeah, those were 2 penalties that the Niners suffered in this game. That's why they finished with 7. He had 2 of them, which is weird. But hey, we were able to overcome it. We were able to overcome a lot of those little small mistakes. A lot of the penalties offensively, what was it, 1 or 2 holds maybe? Maybe 1 hold, 2 holds, couple of false starts. It's just I don't like penalties, but hey, they're going to happen. But the Niners found a way to overcome it, and they did it together as a team. And I don't know if it started with the team getting together on that Saturday night and the captain spoke. And when the captain spoke, Kyle Shanahan asked a couple of other players to speak. Diamador Lenore spoke. And Brock Purdy spoke. And I think getting your quarterback, the leader of the team, to speak, I think that resonates through walls. Because Brock Purdy is the young guy in the room, but he's the leader of the room. And, maybe people feel, maybe there was a little disrespect there, a little shade. I don't know. But whatever he said to the guys clearly got them on the same page. And what I mean by that is the simple fact that the defense played defense and the offense executed on offense. The defense gave the ball back to the 49ers offense. The offense took advantage of those opportunities to score points. And when your team is in sync like that, it's almost impossible for them to lose. So they got to show up with that same energy. So if Brock Purdy got to speak again, Kyle, maybe you let him speak again. And they said that usually doesn't even happen. Like, Kyle doesn't really ask the players to talk. It was a players' meeting. Players got together with the coaches, said what they needed to say. I'm sure George Kittle said, give me the damn ball. Kyle said, I got you. You should have caught that damn pass in the Buffalo game. But anyway, it happened. The Niners did what they needed to do, and they got the win. And, it is what it is. They got the win. I think that's the only thing that matters. And I just want us to come together and kumbaya fucking yah, right? And have a good day. Because right now, we are winners. And let's go ahead and find a way to win again this week on Thursday Night Football. Football's been crazy for the 49ers. It's been extra crazy for the faithful. But, hey, you guys have been supportive. You guys have been here all season long. Continue to support your content creators out there, man. We wouldn't be doing this without you. I wouldn't be doing this without you. I appreciate you. Until the next time, make sure y'all keep that Jones faithful to the mother-loving Bay. Jax ends the show with a super chat contribution. Says, y'all, we going to the playoffs. I hope she's right. Peace out, everybody.